something needs to change in this squad because we've got a bit of a defensive problem. Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco. Today we have two games for you. We've got Man City in the Premier League and then we've got Gent in the Europa League Group Stages. So another Europa League match for you. Since you were last here, basically we've just been trying to outscore the opposition in a way. Basically, I'll show you what I mean by that. If we look at the highlights then and the schedule since you were last here, Vitorol, we beat them 2-0 and lost 3-2 to West Ham agonisingly there in the last episode. Since then, we've played 4 games where we had a bit of a scare actually against Preston. They scored early on. We got 2, but then they kept up their relentless attack basically. We're lucky to win that game against Preston in the Carabao Cup third round. So we get through to the 4th round, but it wasn't a comfortable game either way. We then played Bournemouth and threw away a 2-0 lead at the time. They scored in the 74th minute, but Jalapeno came back and scored in the 78th minute to secure the win for us. But this is what I mean. This is the start of the issues. Defensively, we're just a bit awful, really. We just, conceded 2 goals to a team that we shouldn't be conceding 2 goals to, but we're outscoring the opposition. We then played Roma in the Europa League at home in a game that we should have won. We were the side on top. We had some better chances. We had more chances. We were just a bit unlucky again. We conceded 2 goals that were a bit soft, really, and that was the issue of it. Again, defensive mistakes seem to be the downfall for us there. And we nearly had a very big downfall in Birmingham. This is a definition of outscored the opposition. We conceded 4 but scored 5. 2 own goals. The K.A.A. one is a bit, it came from a corner. I think it just bounced off his head basically. But the Benteke one. Now, just bear in mind, this is it's a Premier League game, a Premier League game. So the ball's cleared up all the way up the pitch. Benteke originally wins his header, which is pretty good. Lukaku puts the ball forward towards their striker, but doesn't really get it. Premier League football, that. Premier League. So naturally, that really annoyed me. And then Lukaku scored in the 89th minute to make it 4-4 at the time. But Despacito managed to get a 94th minute winner. Very late doors for us to win that game. But Mark Hall came and played that game. Played the entire game. Got himself a hat-trick. It was because in this game, Hammer Time played. And this was a few days afterwards. So we thought we'd rest Hammer Time. We'd give Mark Hall a little chance. And to be fair, he took it with both hands. Scored himself a hat-trick. So that was a very good performance from him. Just a shame that the rest of the team didn't really perform, basically. No major news happening in between episodes, though. Only that the training and youth facilities are nearly at completion now. Just under a month to go until they're improved. So I'll let you know what they actually turn into. At the moment, I think we've got great. I think it's great for everything. Facilities, where are we? Youth facilities, great. Training facilities, great. So after that, does it go to state of the art, maybe? Or just really good or superb? I think it might be superb it goes to, which would be pretty decent, to be fair. So I think that puts us in a pretty good position, I think. Right, to try and combat the defensive woes that we've been having, we're moving back to this 4-1-2-3 formation against Man City with Coyle sitting there as that CDM. He's played a little bit of under-23 football, so he is back to match sharpness because he wasn't before. But, he's a decent player. He should be able to sit there and just tackle players, as that's what he's meant to be doing. So he's starting there in front of a back four of Masovic, K.A.A, Patino and Ferreira. In front of Coyle is Jalapeno and Mertens, who have played pretty well recently. We've been rotating quite a bit, but Pentolfi's been a bit injured and Crazy Eyes isn't quite as good as Jalapeno, basically. Gomez starts on that left-hand side. Naturally, we need to put Despacito back on that right-hand side. Lukasic played last game. Played all right, I suppose, but Despacito he's better and he's had better games, to be fair, so far this season. So he's played pretty well for himself. And then Hammer Time, of course, starts up front. He's come back from an injury that he had. He picked up over international break. Mark Hall waiting on the bench, and where is he? Old Jimenez, who got 4 assists in an international friendly recently, but he's still not found himself onto the bench because they're assists, not goals. And he's a striker and he's meant to score goals. And kickoff is upon us here at Sincil Bank as Lincoln take on Man City. Hopefully this formation, that we used this formation mostly last season actually, so hopefully it will give us a bit more solidity. And we got some decent results against these topper sides, or upper echelon sides basically, using this formation. So I'm feeling confident going into today's game. If they just decide to pick themselves up and play football like they know how to play, this will be a very interesting game, I think. What should be 0-0 now with no highlights? Well, there is now a highlight, actually. I was getting slightly worried that my prediction was going to come true. Patino went in late, though, on Icardi. And here we go. Let's see him get sent off then. There we go. 20 minutes in. Patino sent off. Bloody fantastic. And the reason he was playing on the right-hand side and K.A.A on the left is because I forgot to mention it. It's because Benteke is injured or is suspended. He's one of the two. He can't play for whatever reason. So, Coyle, please come back. Play central defender for us. We're going to have to bring Despacito back. We're going to have to bring Gomez back. Hammer Time, just Just do your best, mate. Do your best. Well, they're instantly trying to make an impact here, and I mean, they have 1-0 Man City. Oh no. Patino sent off 19th minute. They score a goal on the 20th. I mean, I hope this isn't a sign of things to come. I mean, right now it's damage limitation, I think, at this stage, because we've got no men on the pitch, or no men in attack, basically, and we've got a bit of a makeshift defence in Kobayashi and Coyle. I mean, this is basically going to be damage limitation for the rest of the game. In fact, I'm even going to go down to counter as well, just so we are slightly more defensively minded. I mean, standard's fine if you've got 11 men, but we don't have 11 men. We've got 10. So counter it's going to have to be, I think. Well, you know, only 1-0 at half-time. That's not bad, is it? That's not too bad. Come on, lads. We're a man down. We can still get a result here. No one thinks that. They listen keenly, but they're not really... No one's inspired by that, which is... I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. If we do only lose 1-0, that is the best defensive record we've kept in the past few games. Oh, here we go. Angel Gomez injured. Fantastic stuff. Do you want to know a secret as well? There's no more players on the left-hand side, literally. It's literally Masovic and Gomez who play on the left. We've got no one else. We've got nothing left, basically. Can Lukasic play there? Can he? Oh, I thought he could. Can he? If I can click on him, come on. No, he can't. Can Despacito play on the left? No. He can't really either. He can play slightly better than Lukasic, so I think we'll do that. Can like Crazy Eyes play there? Can he do that? No, Crazy Eyes can't do that. Arabelos, you're my last hope. You're my last hope. Can you play there? No. Alright, Despacito stays on the left. Lukasic's going to have to come on that right. And this is just going from bad to worse, this game, really, isn't it? What's Gomez's injury? What is it? I mean, okay, it won't let me see it. But we've got a highlight now. It looks like it's going towards us. Ferraria plays it to Mertens. Mertens to Jalapeno to Lukasic. Lukasic now with a ball up to Hammer Time. He's in behind the defence. Just if he gets past his man, oh, he's lost it. Okay, right. Back to us though. That's fine. Back to us. Lukasic now. Come on, get it in. We've lost it again. Oh no. Jesus coming forward. Icardi. I mean, I can see it coming now. 2-0 Man City. Mertens. Oh, Mertens loses it again. Osorio. Coyle. Brilliant stuff. Now Mertens. Counter attack like your life depends on it. Hammer Time. Use your pace. Get there. What was that? Editing Tom, make sure that doesn't go in the video. What do you mean that's going in the video? That was a rubber shot. Don't put it in there. Editing Tom is just a bit of a dick to me. I mean, I don't understand how it's. I don't know how we're getting better as the game goes on as well. To be fair, half time the stats were a lot worse. We're actually doing better in the second half, and it's still somehow only 1-0. How are we keeping a better defensive record with only 10 men on the pitch when we have 11 usually, and we concede 4 to bloody Birmingham City? Hopefully, Man City didn't hear me say that, and they're going to start playing football now as Pasalac comes forward into De Bruyne. De Bruyne through to this guy who puts it through to Icardi, and Reynolds. Bloody hell, what a save that was, mate. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's a pretty good result, actually, I've got to say. To only lose 1-0 to Man City is, considering they're now top of the league as well, that's not too bad. Where does that? I forgot to show you a table earlier as well. It doesn't matter too much. We dropped down to 10th. We were 9th. But obviously, it's early days of the season. The table doesn't matter that much at the moment. The table doesn't really matter that much at the moment. So, you know, it doesn't matter if I don't show you this early on, I suppose. But yeah, mid-table at the moment, as you can see. Lukasic puts his ball in. Oh my God, Jalapeno. Jalapeno has actually equalised for us. With 10 men, we've kept a better defensive record and probably had a better result than we would have had against like Birmingham with 11 men. I mean, obviously we beat Birmingham, but we only just beat them in the 94th minute. Today, we're only just drawing Man City, and I think that's probably, in terms of footballing ability, that's probably a bigger upset and a bigger story than us beating Birmingham. So, fair play, Jalapeno. He's only gone and done it. There we go. 1-1. Geez, I cannot believe that. Considering Patino was sent off and Gomez was injured, the only player we've got on that left-hand side, and we've somehow come out 1-1 with Man City, I'll take that every single day of the week if that's the situation scenario. Oh, that's not good, is it then? 5 to 6 weeks for Gomez. We don't have anyone else on the left-hand side. Do we? No, we don't. I mean, Patino's been banned for 1 match, but obviously it was a straight red, so it will go to 3. Apparently there's no point in trying to appeal it. So I'll trust Phil Neville. We won't appeal it, and we will issue a warning to old Patino there, who accepts his warning. That's the first straight red we've had for a long time, actually. I can't remember last time we had a straight red. We get lots of double yellows, but a straight red has been a long time. Apparently Jesus Jimenez can play on the left-hand side. That'll be interesting, actually. Perhaps we could do that. At the same time, though, we do have this formation that we could maybe use in the next game, just to see how it works out. You know, we're playing Gent. I reckon we could try this next time, actually. We're going to do it. I reckon if we beat Gent in this game, then I think we should be set for qualifying, really. I think we've beaten convincingly. I think it'd be us and Roma going up. That's kind of what I'm thinking, at least. I hope that's the case. Watch us lose it now and we finish bottom of the group or something like that. Right, if we're going for this formation then, what we are going to do is we're going to bring Crazy Eyes on for Coyle, if it lets me do it. I've had a bit of trouble selecting players and doing that today, aren't I? I'm not really doing very well with that. And actually, I think I prefer to have Pandolfi on the pitch, on the grounds that Pandolfi can play the central midfielder on support. I think that's probably slightly better. Of course, then we have to bring Aravelos on, I reckon, for Despacito. We'll bring Aravelos on. And then we're not going to bring Mark Call on. We're going to bring on Jesus Jimenez on as a target man. Target man on support, just to go upside there with Hammer Time. Hopefully they'll have a nice little combination going there. And do we start Diaz instead? That's my kind of what I'm thinking. Do we perhaps start Diaz instead? No. No. We'll leave it as Aravelos. Watch me regret that now. Watch me absolutely regret that. I suppose Benteke can come back on the pitch as well now that he's not suspended, but good old Patino will be very, very shortly. Right, we're playing away in Belgium, but we're kicking off today's game. As you can see by the table here, obviously we beat Vitterol in our first game. I'll show you this little one down here, you can see. We beat Vitterol, obviously, so that puts us on 3 points, and drew with Roma, so we're on 4 points. As we're currently drawn with Gent, it puts us on 5 points. Gent, in their other game, they beat Vitterol, so they're on 3 points, but /4 because they're drawing with us right now. So they are fairly close. However, if we get the win today, obviously that puts us in the driving seat. And I can only assume that Roma are going to beat Vitterol, which then would put us both in the driving seat, basically. They're ahead on goal difference at the moment by quite a long way, as Jimenez comes forward now to try and create the first attack of the game for us. Plays it back to Benteke, who puts it out towards Ferreira, who puts it into Pandolfi, and already we're Wanderlup. And temporarily that puts us top of the group, but as I said, I thoroughly expect Roma to be beating Vitterol, so you know that's going to come and they'll go top of the group again once again on goal difference. But as that stands, without 4 points clear of Gent, and I can't really see us dropping those 4 points to Gent, basically. So I think as long as we win this game, once we've won it, I think we can probably be pretty safe in saying that we are qualified. Hammer Time now on the ball, puts it into the area, and just like that, we're 2-0 up against Gent now. This is a much better showing than the game last time. Perhaps this is the formation that we need to go for in future, on the grounds that we've not conceded a goal yet. If we do that, though, as Jimenez has been put forward by Hammer Time, whose shot hits the post, if we do that, it does mean that Gomez and Despacito / Lukasic won't get any game time at all, and that's, well, they're two of our best players, basically, those two, so I feel like they kind of have to play. But then again, if we play very, very well in this formation, then I suppose we'll have to keep using it. I mean, as far as I'm aware, we're going to have to keep using it anyway until Gomez is fit again, unless Jimenez can play really well on that left-hand side. I genuinely do think we probably would have to just stick with this for now until Gomez is back. But we're coming forward now, looking very promising. It's been a very good formation for us so far, but Gent aren't quite Man City, for example. So it's a different kettle of fish, really, the Premier League to Europa League sometimes. As Jalapeno now has a chance to come forward on the ball, getting himself out wide, puts his cross into Jimenez, the target man, who just put it over. I thought the goalkeeper got a touch to it, but apparently put it over for a goal kick. So kind of poor from him. Well, Roma have suddenly gone ahead of Vitterol as well, so they're back top of the group on goal difference as well. But obviously it doesn't matter too much. As long as we get through, that's fine by me. Getting through to the knockout stages is what I want. I think the board actually as well want us to get to like the quarterfinals. I think they've got quite high expectations for us. They also want us at a minimum to get top half this season, I think. So it's a bit worrying actually if I don't get those things. Well, as you can see from this, it's been a pretty dominating performance from us. 21 shots to their 4, 9 on target, which is better than usual actually, I've got to say. But I'd expect a few more goals actually from 11 shots on target. I'd expect to be testing the goalkeeper a little bit more. Perhaps the strike partnership isn't quite working to the thoughts, or to the extent I thought it was going to work to, I should probably say. Hall is going to come up for Jimenez then. We'll give Hall a little run. Now, he's normally an advanced forward, but should we make him the advanced forward? And Hammer Time, what can he do? Can he sort of be a complete forward on support, maybe? I mean, I'd like to have one on supporting role. We'll do that anyway. We'll just bring Hammer Time back slightly, make Hall that more attacking player. I mean, Mertens hasn't played too well today, actually. He's meant to be the best player on the side, so we'll bring Crazy Eyes for him, give him a little run out as well. Can he do anything else other than the Carrillo? He's probably a bit better as a box-to-box, actually, so make him box-to-box. We'll make those 2 changes for now. Hopefully he'll grab us a few more goals in this game. The more goals, the better, obviously, because we need to catch up with that goal difference of Roma that they got, because they beat They beat Gent 6-0 actually, so they've got a huge goal difference advantage over us. So unless we beat them in the next game we play against them, I don't really hold out much hope in us as getting first place if they've got such a good goal difference. Well, this is the first highlight of the second half actually. It's 78 minutes into the game. There's been no highlights as you can see up here. And it looks like it's going towards Gent actually. They try and work the ball upfield now. Kubo on the ball. Can he sneak out wide? He does. Gets out to Fockett. Fockett now with a chance to come forward. Plays it down to his winger. And the winger puts it into the area. And they've gone and scored a goal. Ooh, now, obviously, normally this wouldn't really worry me too much. However, have you seen the defensive record we've had recently? So, all of a sudden, I'm getting a little bit nervous thinking about this. I'm getting flashbacks to that game against AIK when we were like 6-0 up. And then it finished like 6-4 or something like that. As Pandolfi can't get his shooting boots on today. He's clearly not really up for it. Oh, they've got a goal kick now. I'm starting to get nervous now. I'm literally getting flashbacks to that AIK game. And I swear to God, if Gent do that to us, I'm going to be crying. I will cry, probably. And that's not something I want to admit, but I will cry. Hall, though, that was a weak shot from Hall. He should have done so much better with it. Come on, mate. Where's that Hall that got a hat-trick against Birmingham? And then we conceded 4 goals. But where's that man who got a hat-trick? Well, there's 2 minutes left of this game. And we've got a chance to come forward now. Hall is through and free. Hall gets his first goal in European football. He is a man for the future. I cannot wait to see how good he is. He's recently made the step up to be a Premier League footballer, apparently, according to the coaches. They reckon he's a good Premier League footballer now. At 2.5-star current ability. Nearly gets himself another one there. If he'd just been a bit more lucky and maybe slightly more clinical, he could have had a hat-trick since coming on. Perhaps he's a player that we just need to start playing more and more and more. Perhaps he's the new Lacasic. Perhaps Mark Hall needs to start up front alongside Hammer Time, because we can't replace Hammer Time yet. Or can we? I don't know. Either way, though, we've won 3-1 against Gent there. +2 to the goal difference, so I'm happy with that, to be fair. I assume Roma absolutely thumped Viitorul, if we can find where we are on here somewhere. Where are we? Oh, yeah, here we are, right. So Roma beat Viitorul 5-2, actually. So Viitorul playing well that game, I suppose, compared to how they played against us, maybe. Roma obviously extend their lead at the top of the group with goal difference, with still level on points 7 apiece. And I don't think now Gent or Viitorul are going to be able to catch us up, essentially. So I think it's between us and Roma, but we'll have to wait and see, obviously. Right, next episode then, I reckon we're going to do Man United and Viitorul. I think that's probably going to be the next episode. Gives us a nice bit of time. But saying that, do we need to show it too much? I want to do the Roma game, obviously, because we've not seen Roma yet on the video. So maybe actually we just go all the way to Roma. I mean, without European competitions, I normally do 5 or 6 games, Premier League games in between episodes. And actually, there are 6 games there in between the episodes. There's quite a few cup games as well. So I reckon actually we're just going to go straight to Arsenal v Roma. I think we've shown in these past 2 videos that we are capable of beating Viitorul and Gent. So we don't need to show those ones, I don't think. It's just the Roma game that I'm desperate to do. So I think actually next episode then is going to be Arsenal versus Roma, or Arsenal v Lincoln, Roma versus Lincoln. So that's what we'll do next episode. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I will see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.